Welcome to Disco Elysium. You know, I said that welcome very slowly because I had the sneaking suspicion that for once or not for once, that SteelSeries would still not work, but here we are, pleasantly surprised with the ability to actually get this going. Last time we finished our first day of the case, and, well, we couldn't eep. We ended on us trying to eep. Sorry about that. I was trying to get some keys out of my pocket. We ended up with a nightmare, and now we are awake once again, unable to finish the day. So, let us see what our ever-permanent schizophrenia has to offer us. I like how we're still carrying our bag of bottles in our dream. Hey, that's us.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood?
I was born in a hospital where people usually go to die.
You're not kidding anyone, Harry. You don't remember shit. Tell me, do you remember your wife's hand on your face?
Wait, who?
Do you remember the warmth of her thighs, between her legs and in her mouth?
Wait, tell me what this is. I'm not answering before you tell me what you are.
You know who I am. I'm the bad day. The one where you ask her, and then later in the streets, wandering. It's the worst day of all time, Harry dear. And it's coming. She will hear about it on the phone. Reality will turn into a grotesque nightmare. This will be the last thing you did to her. Tell me, do you remember the love of your life?
I was left.
That's right, funky baby. And you just stood there. One hand on the bottle and the other on your dick. Watching her go. Let it all be dragged away from you. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours?
I don't want to come back.
They were only cramping your descent into the abyss. Now they're gone. 3 times gone and never coming back. All of it. You failed. You failed me. You failed Elysium.
Elysium?
Everything. The pale and the useless. On the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning, furious truth. 8,000 years of written history. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people. And you failed every single one of them.
I've seen you before.
You really fucked
Wait.
up.
I've seen you before.
No, you haven't. You're just sleep talking. And the act is wearing thin, too. The spots on the disco ball fade around you. You'll be back in those cold snakeskins in no time. Sweating up the bed. Stinky boy.
Oh, I'm not stinky. But I can come back from this.
You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours. Bumping into things and acting like a clown. Who are you kidding?
I'm trying to solve this case.
You're trying to what? I can't hear you. This is just a word dream now. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you. A thin, sleep-like state. More glass than velvet, grinding in your head.
So something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad, this dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new type of hangover.
There's another type?
Oh yes, party boy, and it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too, so soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork, barely let you sleep at all. Time to get those clothes on, Harry. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
Oh, that was a fun dream.
Good going, buddy.
What was that?
Oh, just a dream. You have ones like that all the time.
Great.
You feel even worse this morning than you did last night.
Then what's going on with me?
You mean, why are you so tired?
Yeah.
Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think.
But why is this happening?
It's just that your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster.
Oh.
Time to get some more. Don't do that. Stay strong. The hangover will wear off. You don't need to keep doing this to yourself.
No, yeah, we need to get more control of our life. Wait, no.
Are you sure? Ready to live as this pathetic shell of yourself for days? Basically, a week. Let's be honest, 2 weeks. Maybe 3. You won't make it. Half the town will be dead by then. You will be fired.
That's a lie. I can do this without speed. Half the town won't be dead. Probably.
Suit yourself.
By my doing.
Slow, sad shell,
Maybe.
man. See how you do without your spark.
See if Kim's awake. Kim is not there. Oh, the union's down there today. Okay. So we know who we can talk to, at least. But let's deal with those other quests that we didn't wrap up last night. Good morning, Kim.
Morning. Looks like we can get to work at once. The union muscle turned up. They look rowdy. We should talk to them.
So these are the men Garrett was talking about yesterday? Or Gart?
I completely forgot. Sorry, I had a rough night's sleep. It's them by the looks of it. Loud and nasty, just like the manager said. One loose thread less to worry about. And one big problem to replace it.
What do you mean by rowdy?
I mean ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly enthusiastic about the RCM being here. They prefer to be policed by the union. These men here. Men who drink beer for breakfast? There's talk of an armed wing of the union called the Hardy Boys, who are responsible for state policing. I think it's them.
And why do we need to talk to them?
Everything points to the dock workers union. The belt used for hanging him, tracks in the mud, the circumstances in Martinez, my preliminary information, which may, of course, all be wrong. But we still need to talk to them, and it won't be easy.
You know, there's quite a few of them. Should we, get reinforcements?
That would just escalate tensions. No captain would sign off on it. Solving one murder isn't worth a conflict between the RCM and the Debarders Union.
Fair.
In fact, even the death of 2 detectives might not warrant an all-out war. So let's keep a cool head, okay?
Let's roll.
One more thing before we do.
Yeah.
We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them, continue with our business.
Good. A power move. Purposefully concentrate on something else first. But aren't you curious to know what they have to say about the murder?
They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway, I leave that choice to you. Whatever you decide is fine by me.
I think when we're ready to go to the Union headquarters,
Can I help you?
that's when we'll speak to them.
Just a moment. And there's no public phones nearby?
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway. I'm glad to see you again, dear.
I thought I was Sweetie.
The lady is distressed. Perhaps something more upbeat might cheer her up.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to eavesdrop on your conversation. How can I help you?
Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie.
Yeah, I'm Sweetie
I
again.
was just hoping to make a call, but the Whirling's phone line isn't working.
Oh. Huh.
The Union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. Or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too.
Wait, what's wrong with the phone
The
line?
manager was vague about it.
Why would he be vague about phone problems? This is something to look into later. Ask God, maybe.
To let the young woman who's house sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and our friend Gary were supposed to get back by Monday night, but they're still missing, and I haven't heard from them. I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel.
A little missing persons puzzle might just be the thing to take your mind off the hangover.
Okay, I'll bite. Has your husband gone missing before?
That's just it. This isn't like him at all. He always plans his expeditions so carefully. But you have more important things to worry about.
Nah, nonsense. We can do this.
Just some field work, sweetie. Morel is a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant Gary are studying an extremely rare species of insect. But they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast across the water lock to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday.
Odd.
What's he keeping them?
Wait, who's Gary? Do you trust him?
Oh, sweetie, it's nothing like that. Gary's as loyal as they come. I trust him with my husband's life any day.
Are they in a rough neighborhood?
There's a nameless old fishing village nearby, but we've never had any trouble there before. There is a lot of crime around here, isn't there?
I can't say it's the best part of town, but I wouldn't worry too much about a pair of grown men traveling together.
All
The
right.
lieutenant doesn't want to agitate the woman. Do it. Find her husband. This will surely lead to a cryptozoological mystery with that extremely rare insect. Some fringe science is exactly what's needed right now. Spice up that vanilla murder investigation.
All right, well, we'll help look for your husband.
Are you sure we have time to go chasing after bug hunters just now? I did suggest we play it cool, but...
It's just a little side thing. We'll do it when we get the time.
if you say so.
Oh, thank you, officers. Truly, I'll be right here if you come across any sign of Morel.
So your husband is some kind of scientist?
Oh, yes. A zoologist. A cryptozoologist, to be more precise.
And what is cryptozoology?
It's a pseudoscience that attempts to legitimize research into mythological beasts and urban legends.
That's one opinion, yes. And people are entitled to their opinions.
My apologies, ma'am. I did not mean to undermine your hobby.
It's not a hobby, dear. It's a subfield of zoology, one specializing in animal species that are so exceedingly rare that many assume them to be extinct or even fictitious. Searching for such species called cryptids is difficult and often thankless, and frankly, many scientists are too lazy to do it. Universities these days are rarely interested in supporting real research.
She's completely internalized her husband's struggles. They are her own.
Tell me more about Morel, his looks, your relationship.
Oh dear, I'm not sure where to begin.
Well, what does he look like?
Well, his expression is slightly grumpy, but his eyes are always bright and curious, like a small boy's. And his palms are quite coarse from all the field work, but he's quite gentle.
You can't go around Revachol feeling grown men's hands. If you want to find her husband, you'll need more concrete information. It's always a challenge to describe the person you know best in the world.
Why don't you describe him as you would one of your cryptids?
Oh, well, he's a bit shorter than you, but with a larger frame. And he has longish white hair, usually a bit uncombed. You might say wild, even.
The lieutenant pulls out his notebook and begins jotting down the woman's description.
One other thing, he'll likely have all kinds of field gear on him, even if he's not out in the reeds, you know, just in case.
How long have you been married?
We'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn. Not the most numerically satisfying anniversary, but I like the less obvious milestones even more somehow.
And how did you two meet?
By a dating agency, I'm ashamed to say. I was looking to get back into the scene after recovering from my accident, and he'd just divorced. We hit it off, and, well, here we are.
She's skipping over some important parts. Perhaps you'll find out more later.
Well, I think that's all the information I need. Thank you.
I hope I've been useful.
What's this rare insect your husband's looking for?
Oh, sweetie, it's fascinating. But I shouldn't bore you with entomological minutiae.
The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance.
Well, I actually kind of want to know.
Well, it's a phasmid, technically, but...
Ah yes, Phasmatodea. A diverse group of insects whose bodies resemble twigs, leaves, that sort of thing. Ghost insects, colloquially. Oh yeah. Here comes the interesting.
Where other phasmids imitate sticks or leaves, this one's a living reed. It disguises itself among the reeds here on the Insular Indian coast. Hence its name, the Insular Indian phasmid. Perhaps you'll end up co-discovering the phasmid with us, officers.
I knew it. We're gonna be chasing made-up insects with cryptozoologists.
Yeah, probably.
It's not made up, officer. I can assure you. It's simply elusive, so much so that most establishment zoologists doubt it exists at all.
But does it have cool powers?
Yes, it can blend in almost perfectly among the reeds. It's how it stayed hidden all these years, centuries even.
So, is it dangerous?
Not at all. Why else would it hide itself so carefully?
Is it valuable?
Oh, I doubt it. No one gets into cryptozoology for the money, sweetie.
But what makes you think there's one around here?
Well, some teenagers making out in the reeds saw one. They didn't know what it was, of course, but there was a brief article in a local newspaper about their encounter with a ghost insect that looks like the reeds. Gary sent us the clipping.
So a newspaper clipping is all the evidence you have.
Of course, most phasmid sightings turn out to be false alarms, but their description matched the Insular Indian phasmid perfectly, and they didn't even know what they were looking at.
But what's so special about the stick bug then?
Oh dear, I'm afraid I'm not explaining this very well. It is very special. Morel can explain it all much better. I wish you could hear him describe it. Then you'd understand, I'm sure.
About your
I
pen.
hope you were able to pawn that old trinket.
I decided not to pawn it. You should have it back.
Oh, thank you, dear. I confess I am glad to see it again.
Even the lieutenant seems happy with this turn of events.
Now, what else, sweetie?
I don't want to level up just yet. Actually, I would like to... Yeah, let's get the Hobocop trait. See, that will take an hour and 44 minutes, an hour and 51 minutes, 4 hours and 20 minutes. See, do we have anything that will increase suggestion? No. Wait. -1 to suggestion, so good thing we're not wearing that.
Oh, hello, dear. I didn't.
Sometimes the most charming thing you can do is be reasonable in your requests.
How about you tell me just one more interesting cryptid? The Insulinian Phasmid was great.
I suppose you could use a break, and I could use a distraction.
One cryptid, like you said. One. This can't turn into some kind of cryptid extravaganza. We have things to do.
Fine, Kim, just one.
He nods and assumes a waiting posture. Ooh, tough choice there.
Yeah, I want to know about the cryptid that's on my pen.
Yes. It's the kind green ape. Half war story, half undiscovered species in the genus Homo. Yes, it was reported by soldiers in South Safra during the war. The kind green ape would visit bunkers during the night, healing wounded soldiers with its saliva.
With its saliva? Cool.
Yes, it has amazing healing qualities. Some soldiers reported growing back limbs, regaining their sight.
And there was something about an undiscovered subspecies of man?
Indeed, there is. It's our closest relative among the cryptids. Same taxonomic family, different genus. Which is to say, the kind green ape is a species with which we share a common ancestor, and that evolved parallel to our own. Just like your partners.
What? What? I guess my dog had an opinion. But I'm pretty sure Kim is the same species as us.
The lieutenant looks at you, pleasantly surprised.
Oh, no, I didn't mean to imply that Saolites are inferior to us in many ways. You are superior. For example, your earwax doesn't have a foul odor like ours does.
What the fuck, lady?
A tremendous evolutionary advantage, I'm sure. But perhaps we've had enough speculative biology for today?
Yeah, I think
Of
that's
course,
enough
dear.
to hear about from the crazy racist lady. Huh. Huh, the dude here's gone. We'll worry about this later. Okay, so you have to wait till 2100 tonight for that. Oh, you can read the watermarks.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Hey, Kim, how do I turn on the headlights?
All right. Ready? I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater.
He's downplaying his excitement. The lieutenant is more than happy to show off his precious carriage.
Okay, let's press start.
The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The rounds per minute gauge jumps, and the engine of the Caprice Canadian comes to life with a whiny growl.
Let's press the button labeled headlights.
The lights unfold with a little click, casting electrical light onto the ground before the vehicle.
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the machine now.
As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears. A street grid and the veins of a great river. A familiar sensation washes over you.
There she is. Revachol West.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations.
Let's look at the perforations.
There are many of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows.
And let's tally up the different
The
rows.
first row has 18 dots.
And the next one?
The next is the longest. It runs all the way around the border, and then some.
Let's count them individually.
There are so many, it's hard to count. More than 150. At least. Maybe even 200.
In the last row?
The last row has 3 perforations.
That's it?
That's it.
Let's look at the street grid.
The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable. They shimmer in the Kanema's headlights.
Wait.
A rat brazenly darts past you and disappears amongst the stopped lorries. In the distance, a child somewhere shrieks. A woman reprimands her in a voice no quieter than the child's cry.
Ah, Martinez.
Where are we on this?
Let me see. Right here.
I'm sure I've seen worse.
Oh, yes. Coal City. Le Royaume. The burnt-out quarter.
But what do all these holes mean?
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your statistics, as it were. I should have guessed you'd keep a record. Officers often do. Let's take a look. The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered?
Wait, 18 years?
That's what it says. I might have guessed even longer based on your age. What did you do all those blissful years of your youth?
I feel like I just went around apologizing all the time.
Maybe you were a diplomat, or in PR. Doesn't matter, I suppose. Let's move on, shall we? This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. It means finished. You've got, let's see. Wow, more than 200.
Is that a lot?
It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers.
So I used to be good. I guess that's some solace. But what's the last number?
Right. Those are your confirmed kills. You've got precisely 3 perforations there.
Yeah, honestly, I was expecting a higher number.
For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way. There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident. But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for.
Let's see. Have you killed anyone, Kim?
Yes.
It's not a problem for him to state it, however.
And how do you handle the strain?
Everyone has their own method of coping. Some more effective or self-destructive than others. Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies.
Like what?
Oh, this and that. Let's not get into it now.
Maybe I should find a hobby.
Why not gardening? You've already got the gloves.
It's meant in earnest. Please don't mistake it for a jab.
Well, thanks for this.
The lieutenant nods.
Let's
Right.
go.
I'll go turn off the lights.
Let's see. Can't do that. Not gonna do that yet. Oh, we should be able to do this now. Let's get the flashlight back, actually.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die?
Came to pick up the die.
Very good. That will be 7 real for 1 custom die.
Here you go.
Here's your amber die.
There appears to be a small fly embedded within. It's like looking into a lost little world.
Thank you. We can tell her about this place not being doomed.
You're alive and well. Don't keep me waiting now. What's in there? In that dark sarcophagus?
The dark sarcophagus.
Yes? How was it?
Tell her how ghastly it was. You know it's what she wants to hear.
Honestly, it was a dump, but nothing really was back there. Just someone should let the sun shine on.
But what else did you find? Did anything survive? No, of course not. Have you located the entity?
You know, I talked to the entity you told me about, and her name is Nia, and she's a novelty dice maker.
A novelty dice maker? Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? Sometimes they use the ankle bones of sheep.
No, she's just a businesswoman like you.
I don't understand. If it's not her, then where is the source of the doom? How did she explain the curse?
The narrative she's built herself, it does need tearing down. Just don't say you don't have any answer yet. The uncertainty is killing her. To hell with it. Perchance you ought to just lie, sire. You've come this far, you know how to end it. There is an entity behind the entity.
Honestly, I don't have an answer yet. There still needs to be followed, like that strange radio computer thing.
You're telling me that you went in there and didn't find out anything about the curse? Of course. I should have known better than to put my hopes on a man like you. You're no Simonese ghost whisperer. You're an alcoholic. The investigation's over. I don't want you going in there anymore. You're only angering the psychic weather in here. Now, if you're not going to buy anything...
Wow. Total psychic collapse between you two right now.
I am sorry we had to disappoint you, ma'am.
Wow, bitch. Can't do that yet. Can't do that. Can't do that. Working on that. Gotta get 20 real. Oh, we can replace the lost boule. Because we found one.
You're still waiting for a replacement for the bull you sent sinking. What is this? Are you mocking us? This isn't for pétanque.
Now. No need to get angry again, René. I'm sure the officer tried his best. It's not like there's a bull kiosk here in Martinez.
I'm very sorry. This is the best I could find.
The best, huh? This isn't even a bull. But fine. I guess you did attempt to right your hooliganism. Consider it forgiven.
Let's see if we can boost our composure. Still very low. So I think you can tell me about this rifle? Oh, wait.
It's a Bell McGrave. 4.46 caliber. Breech loading. Revachol made. Good weapon. Accurate and reliable. This one's inoperable. The bolt spring is missing and the mechanism is jammed shut. Still a beauty. Where did you find her?
We actually found it in the basement of the bookshop.
I'm not surprised. There are probably lots of forgotten wartime weapons lying around here. Back in the day, everyone had something stashed away. As for the rifle, I don't know what else to tell you. These BM-446s are an antique. No one uses them anymore. The ammunition is impossible to find.
Well, thank you for your time. I just want to check one more time.
Officer?
No, it's still 3%. Okay, let's go. Oh, we gotta call Alice back about the armor.
Inside, we see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge. As you tap on the gauge, the indicator pin jerks as if startled. It's in the large orange sector, indicating the engine is warm. Next to the gauge is a red switch labeled heat.
Now, that's enough fun with the foldable headlights. I know they are mesmerizing. They are also fragile. I'm not going to turn it on for you again.
Okay, let's pick up the radio.
57, how may I assist you?
Have you heard back from the ICP about the serial number?
Yes. The armor was produced by Fairweather in their facilities in Bétancourt, sur la Clé in 42. It was part of a special order for Corps de Pharmacie, a security firm contracted to protect the interests of Oranese pharmaceutical companies in the Semenine conflict. So, it seems the armor went to Semenine. That's where the paper trail ends, though. Even the firm has proven difficult to track. Corps de Pharmacie has been renamed several times over in the years since the armor was issued.
Do you know what it's called now?
The most recently registered firm that the ICP has been able to connect to the CDP is a military contractor called Crenel, and the one before it was Downwell. I think they might be the same contractor.
Armor like this isn't mass-produced. It would have probably been fitted. Perhaps there's a record of who signed for this particular suit of armor.
You know, a suit of armor like this would have been customized to fit the wearer. There must be a record of a person to whom it was issued.
Yes, but the ICP tends to be reluctant to share private sector records. I could try to talk them into it, though.
This is a fun challenge for her, an opportunity to contribute beyond doing her job by rote. She'll gladly put in the extra effort for Team RCM.
Yes, thank you, officer. I really appreciate your effort in this case.
Glad to help. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have more for you then.
All right, we're done with the radio for now.
57's over and out.
In the cabin,
That's dealt with then. So we'll have to call her back tomorrow. Composure. We have +1 composure. Let's go buy that raincoat. We should have... Oh, we don't. It's $5. Oh. And we need at least 20 to finish the day. Wait, can we try this again?
an inconspicuous pile of the roofing because it reveals no...
Damn.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and white boots. His skin is marbled with decaying veins and blotched by lividity. On his chest, a fading web of tattoos. The cargo belt used to hang him from the tree looks reinforced.
Tell me, who are you, dead man?
I'm gone.
And where have you gone?
Into the wild pale yonder.
And where's that?
In the past. Way out in the west.
I can see you're gone, but who am I talking to?
I'm a joke. Look at me.
Sure, you are now, but where were you when... But who were you when you were alive?
A killer. A motherfucker. And a killer.
Neat.
Go ahead, Cobbo.
So, what's happening?
What do you mean?
Well, I'm talking to you.
It's the power of your...
Ew.
imagination.
Yeah, man! Don't be crazy! Inanimate objects and dead people can't really talk to you. Your wild imagination is doing this. Ask some more of those questions you love so much.
Thanks, horrific necktie.
He loves those.
Why do I love these?
Because you're a copperoonie. Look at all of them go. Do you want more questions?
Give me a comical amount of questions.
Coming right up.
Oh my god.
Rooney. This is getting upbeat now.
Is my name Rooney?
Fuck no. You're no Rooney.
Yeah, fair point.
Between you and me, Your name is probably Harry.
I've been hearing that name a lot recently.
You might be onto something there.
But I feel like I've forgotten something terrible.
Because you have.
Who killed you?
Love did me in, Provocopo. It was love all along.
Can you ask me a question?
Sure, Lobo. I can ask you a question. Why are you doing this?
What?
Looking at my face, motionless. Looking into my eyes. Standing here. Why are you investigating my murder?
Well, maybe this will lead to something indescribable, unforeseen, miraculous.
Something is on its way. Something hidden. It's coming. A miracle from the northwest, and it's almost here. You can feel it in the air, on your hands. The cold spring air smoothing them over.
Why were you feeling pleasure when you died?
Maybe I was getting my rocks off.
So you're feeling sexual arousal when they were hanging you?
Do I look like an erotic auto-asphyxiation type to you?
Yes.
Captain Coppadromo. I fear we are drifting away, fixating on sexuality again. Let's go with a simpler question.
He didn't choke himself. You know it.
You know, I hate you, because you're stinky and you're boring.
Do I remind you of someone?
A child born with Moller's disease, Harlequinism, grown up miraculously.
You look like a baby affected with Harlequinism.
You sure wriggled out of that one, Coppolini.
That's enough.
Come back later, Coppo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dreams.
So, how do we get him down?
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done.
Yeah, we've done everything.
The steel reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt. The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting the airship strength material.
Can someone else do it?
Someone else? You mean like the police?
I mean someone who's below detective.
Someone like a paid garbage man? Or a cleaning crew? I have bad news for you. That is a detective. I know it's hard, but I assure you, the others won't come to help us. And we have a growing sanitary concern here. We need to get him down, fast.
We could saw the branch.
Climb up there and saw the branch?
Yeah, that does seem dangerous.
There has to be a less risky way, with less falling down of trees.
Maybe we could shoot it down?
Yeah! Bang bang time, pig! Shoot his head off!
How?
I'm not sure. Maybe you could just shoot there, maybe?
Yes, the buckle, where it ties the cargo belt to the tree. If the shot hits that, then there might be a small chance to release the belt.
Yeah, now we're talking. Entertain the Kuno with some shit.
They'll miss! The pigs will miss Kuno!
The lieutenant is undecided. On one hand, he wants to shoot some gun. On the other, it's an awfully stupid idea.
Take the shot, Lieutenant. What's the worst thing that could actually happen?
I'll blow his head off.
Take it! Take the shot!
Yeah, take the shot. Kuno wants some of that shit.
Silence. With his elbow sharp, the lieutenant unzips his jacket and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks. That's a Kiel A9090 Armistice, mass-produced muzzle loader, ascetic, frugal, one of the most
We got low hand-eye
firearms
coordination.
in the world. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's desk position, taking aim. The corner of his eye twitches. His finger is on the trigger.
Easy does it, partner.
He's gonna fucking miss!
The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements. A cloud of smoke slowly parts in the air as the lieutenant steps back and says to himself,
God damn it.
He feels bad about it. About his eyes mostly. Just having bad eyesight. Probably from a young age. Whatever you do, do not console him.
Fucking idiot! Mookabat asshole!
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he?
Okay, what now?
I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get him down without assistance.
I mean, I could try.
As bad as it is, us shooting firearms like punks. Go ahead, I'm not stopping you. Just don't lose it.
They only have one gun.
This is the sorriest pair of pigs Kuno's ever seen.
Yeah, take it, you fucking banana poika. Take it and shoot yourself in the mouth.
Okay, let's feel the
A
weight.
cold piece of bakelite and gunmetal is surprisingly light. Your fingers fit right through the guard, instinctively resting on the trigger.
The fuck are you waiting for, Kuno? Tell him to shoot himself in the mouth.
The buckle comes into focus in your sights. You stand with your feet planted firmly in the ground and your left hand supporting your gun arm.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth? At least you won't miss.
Your field of view narrows. The branch slowly moves, becoming entirely two-dimensional. The metal buckle glimmers, slick with the falling rain. The corpse slowly rotates.
Look, he's crying. You gonna cry now, fucking faggoty? Or what? You gonna fuck me? You wanna fuck me, pig? Is that what this is about?
Let's give it back to Kim. We'll try later.
I agree. Enough gunslinging for today. We need to access the harbor and ask the leader of the Union to have it taken down. They have the tools, and they have men. I did not want us to be indebted to Everard Clare. I wanted us to be able to deal with it ourselves. That is clearly not the case. We need help.
You need to suck my dick! Why the fuck am I still alive?
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and white boots.
We could have tried shooting it down, but like the chance was really just too low. So we're gonna have to go to the Union today, so...
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite.
Okay, let's ask Kuno if he knows what happened to the rest of the armor.
Fuck does Kuno care? The fuck about it?
So where's the rest of his armor?
Kuno doesn't give a shit about the armor.
How come?
Kuno's fucking's got one big thing wrong with him. He's a fucking mutant.
A what?
Look at him. Fucking growth hormone shit. He's a giant. The armor's too big for any man. Kuno doesn't give a shit about that freak armor. Kuno threw that shit away.
What?
Kuno tried to get the helmet on. It was too big. Kuno kicked that shit in the sea, rugby style. That shit means nothing to Kuno.
Why?
Yeah, that shit means nothing to Kuno. Kuno doesn't give a shit about material shit. Kuno's a fucking monk. You wanna fuck on someone about that armor? Go fuck the mustached Union fuck. The jolly troubadour shit at the gates. Yeah, cocking boot. You know that jolly Union cow fucker? Came around talking about cows or some shit? Came around pretending like he cares about cows?
What?
So yeah, he's the one you want to talk to. He's fucking crazy about that armor shit. Coming here pretending like he likes cows. Trying to catch a peep at Kuno's armor. Go to the gate. Ask him yourself.
Curious, my liege. Why did Kuno feed you this information?
Let's let it be.
Yes, pray pardon, sire. Better to let it be.
You're testing Kuno.
Get lost,
Let's see if we can figure out what's going on with Kuno.
He's on your
Nope.
crime scene, bossing you around. And he's been here for some time too. This is where he hangs out. You have to get more out of him. He could be useful.
You know, Kuno, this City of Rage stuff is pretty neat.
No! You told him about it and now he knows your name!
The city's not fucking lame. You are lame. Kuno's tired of defending Rage City from... Just fuck off, alright? And fuck you too, putting Kuno on the spot like that. Kuno doesn't need to fucking explain his shit. Kuno's king. He rules here. Fuck did you want?
Explain himself? As if explaining some kind of work?
No,
Some kind of
best
avant-garde work way ahead of its time?
best not to annoy the Kuno.
Stop denying it. You want art all over you. You want to smear yourself in art. Been dying to ever since you got up.
Okay, oh.
Care.
Bye, Kuno. Okay, let's go back in the Whirling and Rags and see if we can talk to the Union. Actually, let's... Yeah, let's go inside.
You see a heavy...
Nope, still can't do anything with that door. Wait, what's she doing in here?
Let me handle this. Detective skin color. I'm still black, as you can see. Do you have any more keen-eyed observations?
Nope.
Her entire character has shifted. This young woman is cold as ice. She's right. You're basically an epidermochromatic police officer.
You know, I was just making an observation. I was just reacting to stimuli.
Sure. Reacting to stimuli. I am not a gardener, by the way. I'm a legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union. So let's get to it. You're looking for Titus Hardy? You think he has information that will help you? Maybe he does. That's Titus. Talk to him. But know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arming. Nothing official. The District of Martinez does not recognize your authority to make arrests.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will make an arrest if we have to.
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her.
What's your role in all this?
Like I already told you, I'm a legal counselor. Do you have hearing problems?
And what if I want to talk to you, not Titus?
What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't test your authority. In Martinez, you are no one.
And what are you going to do to me?
What are we going to do to you? The union isn't going to do anything to you. It is not a crime syndicate. It is a labor organization.
Goddamn right it is.
If anything, it is the RCM who do things to people. But we digress.
Why are you so aggressive?
Aggressive? You make your living enforcing violence. These people are just dock workers.
So you were spying on us, and now you represent murder suspects. Just...
Listen, you moral intern lackeys. You're a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the Occident are stealing it all, and you're their bodyguards.
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders.
You know, I like that. Good start. Let's take it a step further. An armed uprising. What are the union's plans?
Look, a comedian. Do your job, ask your questions, then get out of Martinez.
Strange. It's as if people don't believe a cop could be a socialist revolutionary.
Well, we'll talk to Titus then.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers. The men are talking, but you swear you hear those black limbs tap on the window as the wind blows outside. There's a little slide panel up there to let some air in. No need to open it in spring. It's still too cold outside. You're not so sure about that. Somehow you just know there's something out there behind the glass.
There's something out there.
Yeah, your mother.
Fuck you, Shanky.
It's not a very good mother joke, but the room still laughs. Something about those mother jokes just works.
It's not right yet.
Nothing. Just black tangles like the hair of an old woman. Motionless. The wind in the yard doesn't reach the hawthorn, nor does the light come in from this window.
Actually, you know, I want to sell the bottles we have first. Yeah, we can get that raincoat we saw here.
The tear machine your bottles clunk.
Yeah.
You see several packaged raincoats fill a load.
Here you go.
Yeah, we got the raincoat. All right, we did tell Joyce we would look into the lorries down here.
Welcome to Rivachol.
Why are you looking at my partner when you say that?
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island a mere 300 years ago. Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you.
You know what, yeah, Kim, you tell him.
It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb out of this post-war limbo.
Wait, limbo?
Oh, come on, man. I just said welcome to Rivachol. It's a lorry driver thing.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong here, that I should watch myself and behave. But you see, I'm an officer of the RCN. It's actually my job to make sure you behave. I would advise you to remember that.
Silence. The air between them becomes tense. Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
Yeah, fucking A, Kim. I've got your back.
You two make a cute couple. You know that.
The lieutenant exhales and resumes his regular calmness.
Now that we've settled that, I do have a couple of questions for you.
Whatever you say, officers.
You know, I found this mug in the trash. Is it yours?
Oh man, that's great. Look at that guy go. Haven't seen anything that funny in a while.
But is it yours?
God damn. Thanks for that, but no, it's not mine.
He doesn't live in Martinez.
So, what was that argument all about?
It's about biological determinism, natural law, the sorting of the races. Not the most popular topic nowadays, with the coalition in charge and all. You might want to change the topic. That is, bury your head under the sand like common sheep.
So you're just racist. That makes sense.
I'm not just racist. Look, I've read books. Huh? The science of racial theory has all been proved, even if some people don't want to accept it. People who've studied these things say that you and me are superior by design. So, naturally, we Occidentals should be in charge. Obviously, you can see the merits in that.
You know, I've already made up my mind. You want to hear it?
Oh?
Yeah, I'm not down with this. Why don't you go fuck yourself?
Don't push your luck, runt.
But I wasn't done.
Looking for something odd? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
Yeah, actually, I want to know your stance on drugs.
Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body.
Why not?
You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza, Safre, Ilmara. They take the money from our local junkies here and then use it to outcompete us in the manufacturing sector. They know they can't beat us in a fair fight, so they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage, racial economic sabotage.
So I take it you're not smuggling drugs.
Not in, not out. I'll never betray the purity of my tribe.
So you're telling us that you don't know anything about drug smuggling through Terminal B?
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
So why are you still hanging around here? Most of the other lorrymen have left.
What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking around at night. If they touch my stuff, the bosses will be on my ass like ass cancer.
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
You know, I did see one lorry with the trailer doors open on my way here. Do you know what happened?
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved this country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Wheeling in Rags when some kip boys smashed his lock and took damn near everything. Lost his fucking job over it. Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to.
If they were getting drunk inside the Whirling in Rags, how could they know who broke into the lorry?
Wait, if you're on the Whirling in Rags, how do you know it was Kips who broke into your lorry?
What? Aren't we allowed to say that it's the Kips who do all the stealing around here? That's not road to science, man.
If it's not you, then who's running the drugs through Terminal B?
Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang, that beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't be surprised if he was peddling drugs as well.
And who's that?
He's a Samaran guy who likes to pretend he's some kind of businessman. Really, he's just selling his employer stuff. Stuff he stole after he broke the seals on his Humanox lorry. Just follow the smell. It smells like apricot and oil when you're nearby.
Yes, yes. Where is he?
Looks like I offended your partner there. Too bad. Sealang's usually a little bit south of here, near the canal. You can't miss him. Just watch yourselves. His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood. He's your man, all right. 100%.
I wouldn't be so sure about it. Not until we've heard what Sealang himself has to say.
Guess so.
What are you hauling?
Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so it's a sit and wait on your ass situation.
And how long has this been going on?
The strike? Oh, they've been at it for a while. A month, 2 months maybe. But this here is just the last week or so. Apples.
Bay apples?
Yeah, apples. I take it you had other questions?
He's given you the runaround. Let's be honest, you were bested.
That's all for now. Useless asshole. It's quite a... Oh, not much over here, actually. So, let's talk to this dude.
I am a gander and a hunter and a gatherer. Feel like a traveler.
A simple little cadence. He seems to be making it up as he goes.
From another planet. Hey there.
I am the law.
You sure are, my man.
Oh, what's going on
The
here?
jam, my man.
What's the jam?
It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight. No explanation given. Workers on strike, scabs agitating, an all-around clusterfuck. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days.
So how long have you been here?
Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes of mazout.
Mazout is an antiquated term for heavy fuel oils. This man has a barely suppressed performative streak, or he just likes unusual words, or both.
You know, I dig your style.
Yeah, imagine. It's been a whole week already.
Behind the laugh, however, a touch of sorrow.
So tell me, what do you need?
Care to spare some change for working stiff?
Huh? Oh. No, I ain't got any money. They don't want to pay for unfinished work.
Who?
The bosses, man.
I don't know who these bosses think they are, but oh wait, but that sounds like a good arrangement for them.
Yeah, it sure ain't good for me. Or you. I'd spare a coin or two for a city cop down on his luck. If I had, say, 4 myself.
So tell me about the strike.
It's like, whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up, making demands. No way in or out.
What kind of demands?
Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. Like a giant new power crane in half the company? I forget what exactly. Good on them, I guess. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town, too. Like, a strike negotiator type. They know what's up. Precise demands and so on.
And what do you think the company wants?
They want to keep that money flowing in, my man. Ka-ching.
Anything else I should know?
Anything else? Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. I just do my job and get paid. I have things to do and places to be. All of us do.
All of who?
Us lorry drivers. Camionneurs. You still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Most have scurried off somewhere to get drunk or high. Or laid. Not that I blame them, really.
Not you?
Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now. Thinking, reflecting, observing.
Do you know anything about the dead man? The one hanging behind the hostel there?
He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All accounted for. Otherwise, I haven't really asked about that. Been wasting time right here. Keep him busy.
It's easy to see he's telling the truth. He's kept his nose out of the dark stuff.
Okay, you've been busy, but with what?
Analyzing the fundamental structural and psychological conditions of being stranded in the midst of a sea of motor lorries and their sad, despondent chauffeurs.
And your conclusion?
A sense of surprise there ain't more bodies hanging from more trees.
What are you hauling?
Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal firearms, stuff like that.
Okay, what are you actually hauling?
Can't even get a few jokes past you, my man. I've got another haul of found cargo. Mostly sporting goods, tracksuits and that kind of thing. They usually get shipped to Grad and the Occident. Though we've been making headway in the Ilmaran market lately.
So nothing illegal then?
Not unless they've illegalized sports equipment while I was on the road.
That's your machine behind you?
This rockin' beauty. Sure is. Like a rash you can't get rid of. You interested in heavy-duty cargo machinery?
A motor lorry, also called a camion, on Caillou and neighboring islands. This one looks roughed up enough to be some sort of found rust bucket. Maybe the A6.
Is that a Fallon A6 you got there?
Good eye, my man. Yup, she's an old one, but reliable. Me and her spent a long time together.
There it is again. A little touch of sadness beneath his cool. He thinks he's spent too long in this lorry.
You know, could I get one of those Fallon tracksuits you're hauling?
We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchandise. The bosses won't be happy.
Sad.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
You seem like a man who knows about drugs.
Ah, man. Me and narcotics go way back.
The figures.
Had some good times surfing the psychic waves of my own consciousness, you know? But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man?
Do you finance those other addictions with drug trafficking?
Hey, man, that's serious criminal talk. Are you trying to pull some sort of an entrapment thing on me?
Entrapment is a practice whereby an officer of the law induces a person to commit a criminal offense that the person would have otherwise been unlikely to commit, usually through some trickery, persuasion, or fraud.
Okay, let me just be straight with you. I'm trying to figure out who's smuggling drugs out of Terminal B.
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor to load it on their lorry and drive it to Jamrock.
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration.
Who do you think could be conducting the drug trade then?
Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to probe with those questions.
We wouldn't say he's lying, sire.
So, what do we see in his eyes?
In his eyes, an unfamiliar longing, flecks of brown and gold.
Familiar how?
It's hard to say. His gaze wanders southwest, down the street that goes beyond the horizon.
So what's in the southwest?
Excuse me?
Really, you know, hell, I get it longing. I felt something similar since I woke up.
Man, I don't know what to say. Not much anyone can do. There's no helping in absence, you know? I miss my family. They're all I have. My wife, second kid on the way, waiting all the way in Diora. And here I am stuck in this shit, so far from home.
Diora?
Diora of the Seven Seas. It's on the other end of Le Caillou, pretty much. On another island called Laurentide, off mainland. We've got a little place there. Can almost hear my kid laugh when it snows. What's it like? Good. And bad. An ache that brings you joy. I think of them a lot. I dream up these silly scenarios in great detail of living with them. It comforts me. What about you, cop man? You missing someone?
Is that what it is? This feeling? No, it's scarier than that. You're pursued by a hunter, smelling of apricots and sorrow, and the past.
I miss my gun.
You lost your gun? Oh man, that's bad news. Especially here in Marnaise. I hope you'll find it soon before things turn foul. But, thanks for this. It's nice to talk to someone, and I know it wasn't easy to ask. I hope you find your way through your own troubles.
You know, I'm good for now. Good talk.
Don't be a stranger.
The suicide of Kraz Mazov. It's clearly a lie. Kraz Mazov didn't shoot himself. Reaction was on the counteroffensive. The State Day Palace in Mirova was surrounded. He was either assassinated or died in the bombing. You might even have evidence to support this, somewhere in your brain. Mazov was never given a state funeral by the communists. Some people even say the body that was recovered from the ruins wasn't his. There, good. Hero restored to glory. Carry on, comrade.
White check failures heal all morale. +1 rhetoric. Cool.
Soviet socio-economics. 0.000% of communism has been built. Evil child-murdering billionaires still rule the world. with a shit-eating grin. All he has managed to do is make himself sad. He is starting to suspect Krasmezov fucked him over, personally, with his socio-economic theory. It has, however, made him into a very smart boy with something like a university degree in truth. Instead of building communism, he now builds a precise model of this grotesque, duplicitous world.
So left-wing dialogue options gives us 4 XP. We get a -1 to visual calculus and a -1 to authority. Well, that's kind of sucky, but also not the worst. Best thing is we get XP now from just being a communist. We don't want to go up there just yet. Ooh, money.
The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. A photograph is clutched in her hands, and there is a warm smile on her face. The photo, an ambrotype from the turn of the century, as golden as her smile. It's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter, some cigarettes and food money. Maybe she's your...
Grandma?
Nothing. Her smile just keeps widening. Her hair is gray like lead.
If you want her attention, you may need to be more forceful.
Where am I? Who are you?
The smile on her face has disappeared, replaced by the wary aspect of a cornered beast.
Are you alright, ma'am? You were out of it.
Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam in the 50s.
Where else would you be then?
Back in Methka, during the time of the revolution. The sidewalks and cafes are filled with young people. I was on my way to see a new Boyadero picture starring Gabriel Buenguerro. Until you came along, that is.
Wait, who is Gabriel? Yeah, let's just say who is Gabriel?
This is Gabriel Buenguerro.
A strikingly handsome man looks straight at you, his head crowned with a wide brim hat. His hair is dark as an oil slick, and his jaw the most perfectly chiseled thing you've ever seen.
He was the biggest star of his day. Girls used to faint in the aisles of cinema whenever he came on the screen. And schoolboys used to memorize all his lines.
In all likelihood, it's a world that's only ever existed in her mind.
So I take you were in Mesk when you were young?
Someone was.
Someone, and are these not your memories?
They are someone's memories, boy. What difference does it make if it's me or not? They're beautiful. That is all that matters. Beautiful and true. And they will win. They're coming for this, you know? All of this.
She seems to derive some bitter pleasure from this strange thought, as if the past will one day wipe the present away, like a tidal wave approaching.
Degas, sorry for interrupting you.
I wasn't dreaming. I was there, Loman. It was early spring, and the man behind the black sun had just come out. The posters were 20 meters tall. Everything was golden. While you, people, were tearing each other apart over your petty little revolution, in Methk, it was a golden age.
The Republic of Mesk is a massive confederation on the Isola of Muindi, the world's largest state by territory. It's a petro-state, a constitutional monarchy, and, as of recently, an outcast due to its tilt to the far right.
Well, I do have questions for you. Please, questions.
Why not, Harife? It's not like I have anything better to do in this hellhole.
There's something off about this woman. Tell her to show you the soles of her boots. Maybe she was at the hanging somehow.
What are you hauling?
Diamonds.
Really?
Of course not.
Aw.
But wouldn't it be marvelous if I was?
Okay, but what are you really hauling?
Whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine.
So you have no idea what's in there?
I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. Besides, I don't drive the lorry for the cargo, if you know what I mean.
What if that cargo is contraband?
Then it's contraband, Lowman. What? Do you want to take an old woman in? Be my guest. Lock me away like Bad Hand Hermenegildo.
Bad Hand Hermenegildos' bad hand strangled 300 people. What can I say? Some people just really like strangling people.
I really don't get this whole thing.
Of course not. To truly understand the boyadero, you need to listen to on the Western Plain.
The boyadero, boya for short, is a cowherder from upstream Magritte, the great steppes of northern Mesk. He is a rugged individualist and explorer.
And what's that?
It's an old ballad about a young girl who falls in love with a daring boyadero. He promises to marry her as soon as he returns from the Western Plain.
And I'm guessing he doesn't do that?
Of course not. The boyadero returns from the Western Plain a changed man. One night, as he and his beloved are out walking along the river Maigret, she pleads with him to give up his riding and settle down.
In the background, you can hear the orchestra swell as the screen fills with the maiden's imploring eyes.
So he gives up his riding and settles down, right?
No. The boyadero strangles his beloved and throws her body in the Maigret. Then he rides off, because the Western Plain is calling to him.
That's not where I thought it was going.
You have to understand. A true boyadero needs a whole horizon to himself. He can't be tied down by man or woman. His beloved was selfish. She didn't know what it meant to love a boyadero.
What if to truly love a boyadero is to float lifeless downstream?
Before I came, you seemed away.
She's just a distracted old woman. We should maybe let her get back to her things.
So he doesn't think she's a smuggler.
You hear that, Lowman? I don't think your partner likes you spending too much time with me.
Wait, why is that, Lieutenant?
I just don't think she's connected to anything.
He doesn't want your frail mind caught up in something here. Something unconnected to the case. But connected to this woman tuning out like that.
Should you drive a lorry if you get like that?
Oh, don't worry about me. I'm one of the best camioners around. I love routes no one else will.
What routes?
The Monosov's Land, Udashnaya Zemlya, the Western Plain, the Transcatolia Magistral, U41A, Adestradas du Mirador, all the good ones, the deep trenches, where the bluebirds fly.
You know, I'm something of an expert in blacking out. You should take better care of yourself.
You're right, Lowman. I'm the one who should take my health more seriously. Thank you for looking out for me.
A correct appraisal. You're quite shabby.
Is that all you woke me up to say?
Show me the soles of your boots.
Now what do you want with an old woman's boots, Sheriff?
It's important police business, ma'am.
I'm starting to think you should let me get back to Gabriel Buenguerro. You are no Gabriel.
She's wearing sturdy worker's boots made of black leather. Buckles run across. The sole is also made of leather.
Now the other one, please.
Just before Gabriel, it was the coronation of Franco Negro. Now, there was a real man.
Moreover, the boots were size 37. Tiny. There are too many discrepancies in all this. Another discrepancy, although not boot-related, is the coronation of His Innocence, Franco Negro, which happened 500 years ago.
Let's not get off topic. She's not the odd soul. These are not the boots that made the print.
I could have told you that from just looking at them. The size is 37.
The feet of a little girl, they fit well on the pedals.
You seem like a woman who knows a thing or two about drugs.
What do I need drugs for, Lowman? What I see, what I feel, the great adversary, no drugs can compare.
That's not what I'm getting at.
Then what were you getting at?
Maybe if she thought your corrupt.
I wanted to ask if you're interested in smuggling some drugs.
Why would I want to do that?
For commerce.
Loma, what in the name of God are you talking about?
Fine, I'll put it another way. Are you smuggling drugs out of here?
Maybe. Probably not. Makes no difference to me either way.
How could you not know what you're hauling?
Just this month, I made half a dozen trips from Saramiriza to Grat, on the U41A. What do you think they take from Saramiriza to Grat, Loman?
Why do you think I'm asking?
It's diamonds, Loman, obviously.
If you're not involved in the drug trafficking, then why are you still waiting here? Wait, no, who do you think it is?
Easy. He's the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. Never trust a poet. Also, he's the only one I can see from here.
That's correct. There is no visibility of any of the others.
Okay, if you're not involved in drug trafficking, then why are you still waiting
Where
here?
do you want me to go? This isn't so bad. I can listen to music, or the seagulls. Look at all the colors and the features of this world. It's a good palate cleanser, this jamboree. Or I can just relax and let my mind carry me back where it will, to the Great Plains.
I think we're done here, no?
Fine,
Yes,
thank you for now.
Enough jamboree. I need to get back to Mesquite.
That was a unique conversation.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if it's been reassembled piece by piece, secured and mounted in the air with the aid of numerous ropes and rods. A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, "I am Philip III, the Squanderer, the greatest of the Philippian kings of Revachol, son of Philip II, the opulent, father of Philip IV, the insane." Not a good track record of mental health in that family.
And what did this king do?
Even by the standards of the Philippian kings, old sumptuous Philip was known for his profligacy. Well, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of one of the penultimate century's greatest superpowers, the suzerain of Revachol. His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy during the anti-centennial revolution, an end to his family line and the monarchy on the Insulindian Isola. Stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber where he stored unfathomable wealth. Krugerrands, bars of gold, ornate weaponry, armor, and various chalices. He called it the Sol Aurum. It was obscene. There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers, like some obese dragon, instead of a bed, like a normal person.
The man certainly knew how to live.
Wait, really? There's, a deplorable farce. No wonder everything went to shit.
But wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine addiction.
The what now?
You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry, he was also a prodigious snorter of nose candy.
That is... Huh.
His Majesty's courtiers said it helped him connect with the higher realms.
So where is he buried?
Beneath the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay, thrown there by the revolutionaries after they cleaned out the royal mausoleum.
What happened to the statue?
The original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of the coalition's airships during the turn-of-the-century revolution, when Martinez was leveled. Most historians think the coalition's hasty landing may have ultimately saved the statue. If the communards had more time, they would have reduced it up to even finer pieces. Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals designers mostly, thought it would be ironic to restore the statue of the most wasteful ruler of Revachol in the poorest part of the city. The statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber, floating on a sea of shit. People in Martinez tend to disagree, as do many prominent art critics and thought leaders with more nuanced social awareness than the young ironists. Philip III, the Squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned about what the hoi polloi think of him in death. Not that he ever did in life either.
Okay, so we've gotten nothing so far in the drug trade here. There's nothing over here. Oh, looks like there's a guy in a store down here. Okay, let's check out the store first. Oh, cool. Bottle. Actually, no, let's open up this dumpster. Ah, fingerless gloves. Let's go.
Good morning to you, officers.
A burly man hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a generous serving of salami with an old hunter's knife. His eyes are fixed on a man stranded on the other side of the waterlock and on an enormous billboard that has fallen down into the canal between them.
What are you doing here, man on the waterlock?
My friend Barry the Butcher is stuck on the other side of the waterlock. I'm keeping him company and eating his salami.
From the corner of your eye, you see a man in a yellow shirt and grey overalls waving at you from across the canal. He seems disappointed about the wreckage on the waterlock and the salami.
Very good stuff. Anything I can do for you, officer?
Do you know what caused the wreckage?
I wasn't here to witness it, but those look like tire tracks on that sign. Weird, huh? Then again, plenty of daredevil drivers in Revachol.
The words daredevil driver sound ominous to you.
Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here, especially a waterlock. The rest of the coast is closed off till then.
Do you know what's further down the coast?
Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish market, a bizarro church. Not much use to the congregation, though. There always seems to be something wrong with it. Yeah, not really much else. Just bombed out ruins.
Can I have some salami?
Sure thing. Want some too, officer?
Why not?
Awesome, thanks.
A crumpled billboard reading, Samaran butter soaks in the canal. Two ugly lines mar the bright countenance of
Wait,
the
I
blonde
wonder if we
boy.
can increase visual calculus at all. No.
A crumpled billboard, whatever it is. The boy on the billboard seems very happy about it. Goat milk and butter. The Samaran terrain makes it easier to raise goats than cows, and the local goat farmers produce high-quality meat and dairy staples that add variety to other nations' diets. It's an acquired taste. just some tasteless advertising at the bottom of a canal. A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps. The light pole has been carefully cut, and the wiring has been redone and attached to a standard indoor plug. The light buzzes faintly, but persistently. This would make quite a statement in your living room.
Yes, officer. As you see, it's in perfect working order. It was brought to me to be altered.
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property. You have to admit it's rather clever what he's done with it.
700 real. A bargain, I dare say. The light has undergone 3 transformations, and every transformation, large or small, has a price tag.
The light has been removed and rewired.
Totally wasn't muted this whole time.
Transformations. But what about the third?
You know, I get sawing off and redoing the wiring could add to the cost, but what else?
The most important transformation is the light's placement among ordinary indoor fixtures, which has adjusted its morphological field. The light became suitable for use inside the home just a few days ago.
Okay, that checks out.
We don't need the streetlight, but thank you for the offer.
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniforms. All are stern and unyielding in their duty. Try to find something pretty and cool here. Then use it to win her back.
Win her back?
Yes. Buy something nice. A figurine. This sounds off. You shouldn't trust this guy. Big men on big horses, clad in lamella armor and carrying flintlocks. The kind that would mow down a line of enemy soldiers in the blink of an eye.
Franco-Nigerian knights. I used to be very serious about these guys.
A long, long time ago. They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers. They are variously posed, wielding swords and rifles with bayonets.
Wait, this looks like Renee, the old guy who's playing Petanque.
This is what the loyalists looked like, yes, at first. Then they wised up and got camouflage.
Which ones? Ah, those. Yes, they are. I find the paint job a bit gaudy, but children like the bright colours indiscriminately.
This set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive. A few have rifles, but most of them carry pistols. Some even shovels and tall sticks.
Are they even soldiers?
You're probably talking about the revolutionaries, yes? Yes, they are soldiers, revolutionary soldiers. I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win.
It was meant to give the people hope. Even we can do it.
Maybe.
He seems to have his own take on the conflict played out in perpetuity by these toys. Might be interesting to find out what it is.
See, can we find a cool figurine?
Why? What's this? A headless man riding a horse? A headless man wearing futuristic tracksuit trousers that say found.
Oh, that's the headless phone rider.
Of course.
There's been a lot of interest in that particular figurine. I had to hide it so it wouldn't fall into the wrong hands.
He doesn't elaborate on these wrong hands. it's unlikely that he ever will.
I've heard about it. I've heard the headless phone rider rides a headless bull.
Yes, there are several competing versions of the story, but I believe this figurine is a more canonical representation.
Sorry, what were we talking about again?
The Headless Phone Rider. It's an urban legend about a man who rides the streets of Revachol sporting a fawn tracksuit. As you see, he's missing his head. 50 cents. Bargain price. I'll throw in the tiny cap too. I think he's looking for it, or something. That part of the story has many interpretations.
He lost his cap when he lost his head. Perhaps he's looking for the head.
Absolutely, we'll take it.
Did I mention that this figurine is supposed to be lucky? Always carry it with you.
The boomboxes on the shelf look well-loved and well-traveled. Chipped, dented, they stare at you with the unblinking eyes of their tape reels. One especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on top. A classic boombox that says, Stereo 8 approved. This is you. Golden orange. A sunset suite. Just make sure it works before you buy it.
Shopkeep, the Stereo 8 approved machine
The
here.
Harman Welsh W2. Made in Vespa. Designed in Seoul. Plays all reel-to-reel formats.
Oh, we don't have enough for it.
8mm, 12mm. It's even got a little radio in there. It'll set you back 12 real.
But will it be handy my police work?
If police work means playing tapes, sure. You can use it for that. Or any other time you'd need to play a tape.
Like a beach party. With sand and sun and seagulls dancing on the breeze.
Theoretically, could I bring it to a beach party?
Theoretically, yes. But we don't have time right now. It's generally murder investigation first, then beach party.
Kick him, I'll just rock out with the pawn shop owner then.
I don't like beaches. They accumulate too many photons. It's always chaos out there. But live your life, man. You can use it at a beach party if you want.
Are you sure this is all in working order?
Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of speech, found sounds and music from a variety of genres, even though I don't really like music.
Fair point.
It's not often that I see officers from the RCM in my pawn shop. What can I do for you?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop.
Yeah, I feel like I'm interrupting you.
Oh no, not at all. I guess I haven't had many customers lately.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake, people who are terminally bored. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from.
Quite the collection indeed.
It keeps me entertained.
By the way, do you happen to have any guns like the ones carried by the officers of the Citizens Militia?
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back.
Wait, what?
This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before. Oh God, the lieutenant shifts from one foot to another.
Wait, I sold my gun?
You...
Uh-oh.
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving of a service weapon of the Revachol Citizens Militia. And I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photon emissions. The unhealthy kind.
He's not telling you the whole story. It seems he's trying to spare you.
I feel like there's something you're not telling me.
You weren't quiet yourself, officer.
Well, what was I like?
You were very distraught. You said the gun was a threat to your life and that you can't trust yourself with it tonight. And that you need the money. When I said that I don't normally buy firearms, you put the gun barrel in your mouth and sort of sucked on it. Then I agreed to take it.
It happens to the best of us, I guess. Actually, no, I'm so sorry you had to see me in that state. We don't have to talk about it any further.
No apologies necessary, officer.
Was the buyer a policeman too?
She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it, and of her. Truth be told, she was terrifying.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm issued by the citizens' militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it?
Miraculously, his face does not reveal what's happening inside.
I don't like it either. What if she intends to commit a crime and blame it on the citizens' militia?
You're right that she could cast aspersions on the force. We have to find her.
Any idea where I can find this buyer?
My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she was coming from or where she went.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now. You'll just have to hope you luck upon her somehow.
At least now I know I lost my sidearm.
Of course.
Let's see. You might be able to help aid our investigation.
I doubt it, but I can try and answer any questions you may have.
Know anything about the recent hanging?
I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery. Bad for business. Bad for everyone.
He doesn't know anything.
Think you could help me get a corpse from a tree?
The corpse behind the hostel, I assume. I don't have a truck with a mounted platform or anything of that sort myself. Ask around the harbour. There might be some workers there who'd be willing to help.
Well, that's actually all I got.
The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
Let me have a look.
Let's check our
Anything
pockets.
else you're thinking of selling?
I don't think we need the... Oh, wait, no, we can give that to, I think Kuno, the filament memory. Hold on.
Another time, perhaps.
Okay, looking at his wares, talking to a guarded man like him.
So it looks like we need to print this filament memory first before we do anything else. Or before we try to sell it. Ooh, bottles.
There's a pile of cheap sunglasses in a small...
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles right here.
Abort. These are hideous. What's more, they don't even fit your face. You can feel them pinching your nose.
Damn, officer! You look like a mega secret spy. Very secret. They're practically made for you. I'll let you have them for 2 real and 50 cents.
No, you are definitely not buying those.
Kim, I like the sunglasses.
No, I can't. We can't walk around with you looking like this. Okay, fine. Go ahead. If you want to look like a walking midlife crisis, then who am I to interfere?
Actually, we'll come back. I want to see if we can deal with that filament real quick.
Hello, sir. How is the investigation going? Found any curses yet?
Yeah, we found it.
Oh, that's great. I hope exciting adventures lie ahead. And maybe you can help Mother become less afraid.
Composure. Let's see if we can up our composure. No.
Every snowflake is like a little gift.
You fell to the dupe. She waits.
It's okay.
You disappointed.
Let's try this again. While we're here. Wait, what's this? Okay, we're almost done with HoboCop.
The barbell waits patiently on the floor, like a dog.
Ah, we can't yet. What does Kim want?
It's dark. And the flashlight works a lot better if you hold it in your hand.
Got it, Kim.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. Casting the framework in like a smooth draw, nothing happens. The filament slides out of its glow.
I guess we don't need it, so we'll sell it.
Hello again. How can I help you? Sure. Anything else you're thinking of selling?
There, we got the 50 real.
Another time.
The boomboxes wait.
And here you are. Quality sound reproduction on the go. It'll play anything, wherever. Turn any tape into a conversation of sounds and shapes.
Cool. Because I believe we need that to play the disco music.
The shine on these sunglasses last a good starter pair, officer. And when you're ready to upgrade, come back and see me.
These are all boring. Boring third-rate ho-hum sunglasses made of cheap Syrahese plastic. The kind of plastic that melts in the sun. Those UV stickers are almost certainly just there for the show. If anything, these lenses probably direct more UV light into your pupils. A UV magnifier.
These are all first-rate sunglasses. Premium design, superb material, very cool, UV resistant.
Let's see if we can get an increase on conceptualization. Drama, conceptualization, conceptualization. Okay.
The shine on these sunglasses lasts a lot. Oh, very interesting choice, officer. Very high culture.
This is how a sea monster sees the world. You've become a sea monster. Giant, hidden, and strangely tender at heart. All is blue. Yes, but they also make your soul quiver like jello. So deep.
Wow, officer. You look so cool. And they can be yours for a mere 3 real. My regular customers have passed them all up because they've got no taste. But you found them.
Kim, what about these?
The lieutenant tilts his head and steps back, eyes narrowed in a thorough examination. It's a case to him.
You look like a musician. Like a blind musician. But you could do worse. Take them if you want.
Yeah.
A man who knows his style. Much respect.
There are clothes inside. Cheap second-hand clothes, smelling of strangers' body odors.
Don't be shy. These are premium class clothes. Good quality fabrics, best retro design. Save the economy with your style, officer.
Save the economy? That sounds off.
Wait, save the economy.
Haven't you heard, officer? We've got to be economically conscious. Recycle your cash, keep it in circulation. Don't buy new things. Buy eco.
Sure, I'll be more economically conscious, I
Very
guess.
cool.
You find your hands deep in tattered and faded garments made from weird polyester blends that make your body itch and sweat in all the wrong places.
Economical, but also trendy. Look first-hand, buy second-hand. Keep the economy moving.
Composure. Can we boost our composure? Okay, +1 composure there.
You see,
I can see you've a taste for luxury. You keep coming back. That's good of it.
something cold grazes your hand. Synthetic and sleek, a windbreaker. Surf, it says, but also wind, summer, 100% waterproof, and sport.
Good choice, officer. Mega sporty. And it's only $4.50 for you, sir.
Sure.
Gotta prepare for springtime, right?
The speakers below are banged up and worthless. The sneakers triumph over them. They're the star of the show here.
Let's inspect the
A
sneakers.
pair of Faun Ultras. The design is impossibly sleek and simple. A futuristic silhouette with a sleek monochrome colorway, a jet black upper, and a silver-lined midsole.
Those sneakers, mister. Those sneakers are the latest Faun sneakers. Super air, super fine, super cool. Only 50 real.
Only? That's madness. Faun Ultra. We're the future. You remember the slogan from some...
Oh, those are pretty good, though.
These once respectable speakers have been conquered, reduced to a mere prop by the...
No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers.
Wait,
the
why?
Sneakers are the stars here.
But I want to look at the speakers.
These, officer? These speakers are Samaran garbage. I'm ashamed to even use them for props. Don't waste your time on them.
Samaran trash. That sounds like they're from the Samaran People's Republic, produced under the dictatorship of the proletariat.
But can I just buy the sad speakers?
No way, officer. These aren't for sale. They're bad speakers. Low-fi socialist junk.
But I think I might be a lo-fi socialist junk.
No, officer. You're a high-class policeman who accepts nothing less than the best. Lucky for you, I've got the best on sale.
I want the speakers.
Well, if you want them, but see, they are the pedestal for my sneakers. If I let go of the speakers, where will the sneakers go? I can't leave premium lifestyle sneakers on the ground. If, on the other hand, you wanted to buy the sneakers too, I could maybe throw in the speakers for little extra. 50 cents?
Damn, so you have to buy the sneakers first.
Which we don't have enough for.
You see a Samaran street vendor surrounded by a motley assemblage of goods. When he realizes you're looking at him, his face breaks into a wide, welcoming grin. The name Sileng is embroidered over his breast pocket.
Happy shopping, officer! Everything's cool here.
What's so cool?
Everything's cool. The goods are cool, the customers are cool, the place is cool. And one more thing, officer, you're very cool. Bang, 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 bang!
Wait, you think I'm cool?
Oh, yes! You got style. You got personal style. You know what you like. You like premium menswear. Look around and browse. Everything looks cool on a guy like you. Take your time.
Don't be distracted by the flattery and funny man act. Questions?
Let's see if we can get a thing in rhetoric. Rhetoric's a -1, the orange bum hat, so we'll get rid of that. Natural chemistry, drama, endurance, interfacing. Got rid of the only debuff in rhetoric.
Everything's still cool here, officer.
No need to dress this one up.
I want your money now.
Oh, okay. But why, officer?
I just need the money.
Ah, yes. Money is very important.
Are you trying to ask for a bribe? If so, you're not doing a very good job.
Sorry, detective.
Where are you from, Sileng?
Me? It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm all business now. All Revachol.
This man probably comes from Seaguy, sometimes known as the Apricot Suzerainty, an archipelago in the Samaran Isola.
You're from the Apricot Suzerainty, right?
Apricot Suzerainty calls to mind an era when the Seaguy archipelago was colonized by Revachol. It's a bit of a slur, in other words.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I meant to say you're from Seaguy.
Very cool. I admire your awareness of our intertwined histories. It's super nice of you to apologize for colonialism, but the Apricot Suzerainty is a shithole. That's why I left.
But isn't it only a shithole because of Revachol?
If you say so, officer. I don't worry too much about politics. I'm an entrepreneur, you know. Whatever's good for business is good for me.
So what's your stance on drugs?
Drugs? I don't go in for that, officer. Drugs ruin lives. Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. Mwah! Tasty, tasty drugs.
Well, I just want to look for a lorry driver who's transporting drugs out of the harbor.
That's so cool. You investigating the local drug trade like some cool narc? But I am not a lorry driver. I am just a street vendor. I don't know anything about that.
A blatant lie, sire. Yet he tells it with such conviction. We'd believe him if we didn't know better.
But you are a lorry man. Other drivers have identified you and your lorry.
Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant who works harder than he does. He's a hater.
So you admit you're a lorry driver?
No, I just said I work harder and he's an asshole. I'm... Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream.
Yeah, I don't believe you now. Tell me what you know about the drug operations here.
Nothing. I told you. I'm not a dumb guy. I don't get involved with that crowd.
And what crowd is that?
Crowd. You know, the drug crowd.
No, he wasn't talking about an abstract crowd. It was that crowd. He doesn't want to talk about them. He's afraid.
Why are you afraid, Sileng?
Look, there's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please don't get me into this mess. I've spent 15 years working my way up.
Here we go. There's a tiny bit of truth on the table. Zoom in on it.
If you don't want to get into this mess, you have to give us a reason to move on.
It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, she's no lady.
Is the lady driver the old woman back there? Dazed out? Strange?
I don't know. Maybe. If she is, I haven't gone near her. I don't get involved. I told you.
It could be. She was strange. He's not ruling her out.
And who are the other drivers who talk?
All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know. Are we cool now? I really want us to be cool now.
Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours? The racist or the other one with the tattoos?
All of them. Even the ones who've left. I don't hang out with them. I don't remember who has tattoos.
Fine, we're cool now.
All right.
Maybe we can check back with the other dude, see if he knows.
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man. What's on your mind?
You know, I heard from one of the drivers that the one smuggling is a woman, but I don't think she's here.
I don't want to talk about that.
I don't mean to pry, but I need your help. She may be involved with the drug business.
Man, I was hoping it isn't going to be her. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some evil drug trafficker. And I don't know where she is.
One moment. And I'm back. Let's see. You know, I asked you who was conducting the drug trade, and you said you didn't know, but now you do.
I didn't, man. I told you I was hoping it's not her. That she wouldn't be mixed up in it.
He still is. Hoping. It's just wishful thinking on his part. not trickery. It's true. We would have caught a lie. But a kind heart is tricky. Emotional rhetoric. He knew something and he didn't share it with you. That's a fact.
So who's this person?
Thank God I don't know. People here call her the Lady Driver. She kept her name a secret. From me too. Now I see why.
Who is she to you?
A friend? An acquaintance. I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. She's someone I don't want to rat out to the law, okay?
And what does she look like?
I didn't, man. I told you I was hoping it's not.
Oh, wrong button.
Emotional rhetoric.
A youngish woman. Gruff, but in a cool way.
What color hair?
Blue and violet. Dyed. It was violet when she got here. Blue before she went.
Then she may have dyed it again.
Okay, when did she leave?
Damn, I don't want to... Please just let it go. Whatever she did, it can't be that bad. She's not a bad person. I know that much.
We can't just let it go. It's part of a police investigation.
That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation. The girl's troubled. If you hunt her down, she may not survive it. I can't have that on my conscience.
It won't come to that. We won't pursue her on this. This is information only.
I don't believe you.
It really is.
I just can't, man. I'm not naive.
You said she's troubled. How?
She's got the darkness in her. That young person's darkness when you think it's all over. And you're looking for a way out.
She shared this with you?
Yes. Which is why I don't want to snitch on her.
It's not snitching, it's just a few questions.
It's snitching, man. I know what it is.
Why are you the only one not afraid of her?
I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me, too, that she's had a violent life. But I wasn't afraid of her. More like for her.
Did this violent life include drug trafficking?
Well, it looks like it did now. But we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know? She talked about her mind.
Her mind?
The way it worked. The trouble it was giving her.
When she left, did she leave her lorry behind?
Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of drivers here who couldn't stand her, or were afraid of her. They'd be more than happy to rat her out.
The grey-haired woman. Maybe she knows something. Wait, this guy says they're friends. Then, acquaintances. And he's okay with others ratting her out. Push Tommy and it will break his heart. And his spirit. Don't expect you to be pals.
So you're alright with others ratting her out, you just don't want your hands dirty?
Fine. I don't want to be a butcher. And I don't want to be a knight either. I just want to be a person who can sleep at night. A little fame wouldn't hurt too.
But put yourself in my shoes. I need this for an important investigation too, and I can't blow it.
You're not going to put a bullet in your head if you blow it, are you? Because she's on the edge, man.
I might.
An explosion of stars. Goodbye world of men, money, and machines.
She's a suspect and I need you to tell me where she is, or I can't finish my investigation.
I thought you were a different kind of cop.
The realization that you've used his friendliness and goodwill for your own ends. Remember, you're doing it for the bigger investigation. This is important. Relax.
Where is she?
Here. Her lorry's still here. Down past the statue of Philippe. The cabin is green. You can get in there with these. That's all I know.
When did she leave?
Last Friday.
Anything else? Like where she is now?
No. I don't know.
And why did you have the keys?
She left them to me. Because she trusted me. So I can get it out of the way when the jam breaks loose. Otherwise...
The other drivers would have to tow it or break in to get the machines moving.
If they break in, they would find what's hidden inside. Something incriminating.
I'm sorry I had to do this.
I bet you are.
And he's sorry he couldn't be what he wants to be. A good person. His last line, his revenge on the world.
You know, one more thing.
Nah.
Oh.
I need to think my own thoughts now. Pray forgiveness for my sins. Go check your cabin. I hope it gets you something.
This green found, A to Z, contemporaire, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
This is the one our man pointed to.
Okay, let's unlock it.
Push the key into the lock and turn. It makes a cracking sound. Then the door pops back a few centimeters. You can just... The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals.
Let's pull out the toolbox.
A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper. It's an issue of Périphérique from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages. It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan frequency system.
The Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. The rest is as it was. Radio, posters, a trace of motor oil smell under all the cigarettes. You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle. Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Looks like the driver glued a piece of sandpaper to the throttle to offer some extra grip.
Sandpaper? A novel technique?
Which would have also rubbed off the pattern from the driver's right boot sole.
Yes.
Do the honors, he thinks. Connect it yourself.
One of the footprints at the crime scene had an aberration. One sole was smoother than the other.
Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching.
And she's also the one running from the drug trade.
We've identified one of the footprints, but there are still 7 to go.
The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a pull-out toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals. Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady driver.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least.
Is there anything we can do with the radio?
Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without the dial key.
Why would anybody need so many radio stations?
For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation. With quite a range too.
What else?
The smell of 1,000 cigarettes, some dead actresses, and a rusty old toolbox under the seat. These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century. One of them particularly catches your eye, a centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat. The actress is draped in a sheath dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past the camera. A feeling of tenderness washes over you. A longing even, perhaps. And gentle tragedy. This is Tijon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for her talent than her tragic, untimely death. She wasted away in a drug den called the Door to the River, not far from here, on Boogie Street, a mixture of cocaine and morphine. She was afraid of the world, and the camera, too. The actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard, and a toolbox sits under the driver's seat. You close the rusty old lorry door.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? before we return to Joyce?
Hobocop.
Hobocop.
Technically, you wouldn't be a cop anymore, but a hobo. That would mean game over for the cop chapter of your adventures. But who knows where the hobo part takes you? To the bar? The old L'Assommoir? To the pier or the sewers? To Le Royaume, where for 300 years they interred the dead. You could plunder royalist crypts for long-forgotten triple malt bourbon, then fight the Aramakan beast that lurks the bottommost sepulchres. The secrets of the city are all yours at last.
Hobocop. Wait, what do we get out of being a Hobocop? Okay, reveal extra special collector's editions tear bottles on the map. More money from selling tear, and learning cap for shivers raised to 6. Cool.
Alright, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep.
What do you think about all this, Kim?
Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net.
This means it's well funded. Technology like that, a major player must be financing it.
I'm not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks.
And what about movie posters? How do they factor in all of this?
As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade.
I mean, there's a lot of women there, especially for a lady driver's cabin.
Yes, well...
unimportant.
How do you think this is connected to the Union?
We didn't find anything conclusive linking them to the smuggling operation. But somehow, I doubt that Evrard Clare would be oblivious to something like this happening right under his nose. My suggestion is, we use it against the Union in any way we can, to our own ends. It's a slippery hill, but we just might be able to pin them down, indirectly, down the road.
Will the RCM open an investigation into
We
this?
should return to the murder case, see what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. We do not want to get caught in that. The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madre grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome.
Corruption?
All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either.
Okay, debrief over?
Debrief over. After you.
Okay. So we'll go back over to Joyce. Because we need her information on the case. Seems like exactly what we need. Then after we speak to Joyce, we'll go over to Gart. Get a room secured for the night, then talk to the Union boys. Can we try this again?
Just an ordinary.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
We spoke to the lorrymen at the roundabout.
Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered?
Hold on. I'll do perception. Map wall. Net. Do need composure. Let's do perception. Get that up. Wait, where exactly are these eyes?
It doesn't really matter, and I do apologise for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this. In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is an operation.
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidentiality. I am sure you understand.
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. Now it's my turn. I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
A bloodbath?
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West.
Since you are sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be.
But how are the lynching and the strike connected?
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail.
Do you need a security detail?
Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
Who are they, exactly?
Crenell, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating. They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the Colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him. He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night. Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbor. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenell contractors carry out their orders, for now.
For now?
It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
This is not Disco.
It is very far from Disco. My only hope is that you provide a single, concrete suspect before the mercenaries indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put, if you don't pin this on someone good and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
The Debardeurs have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a Hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty.
The Serai's giant hornet, the world's second largest insect, can kill 40 honeybees a minute, while a group of 30 can decimate an entire hive of 20,000 bees in less than 4 hours.
These men work in tandem using semi- and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all. As I said, a bloodbath.
Isn't this a pretty bleak scenario you're describing?
Many bleak scenarios have already come true. Nameless, badgeless detective of the citizens' militia. All we can do is keep the rest from going the same way. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation.
And how much time do we have?
Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob, and their impatience.
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative.
5 days, not more. Maybe sooner.
It's a matter of days, not weeks.
What are the remaining 2 mercs now, or where are they?
Ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting.
We still need to know where they are.
You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
Where are the mercenaries?
One must be at the harbor gates, causing trouble, directing strike breakers, perhaps. You can hear the sounds of the ruckus coming from there all the time. The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers.
I'm thinking the company put one of the leading strikebreakers at the gate. What do you think?
That may be so. I still hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest.
For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the gate is a powder keg. Does this not bother you?
Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant. But my hands are tied. How would my employer react if it appeared I were intervening on behalf of the Union?
Your concern may be appearances. Ours is keeping the peace.
One is probably in a building overlooking the roundabout.
Would afford a good vantage point. In any case, it's practically inaccessible.
Where is your radio for contacting them, if I may ask? Do you have an earpiece?
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. There's a short wave at the ship's wheel.
I had another question for you.
I hope I can answer it better.
This colonel, the one who was hanged, did you know him?
If you mean did I see him alive? Yes. But I did not know him.
What was his name?
Lely. His service name. A nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one.
Why don't you tell me about the others first?
One is a man. Corty, they call him. A nickname as well. The other a woman. Phyllis DePaul. Corty is the gunner, I believe. DePaul is a radio operator.
What would you say was his eye color, the deceased's?
She closes her eyes, trying to picture the man's face, then shakes her head.
I can't remember.
The lieutenant was testing her, asking a small detail first to see if she knew him better than she let on. She passed.
That's all right, man. Anything else? Nationality? What would you say was his age?
He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age, or gauge his facial expressions.
What else? Nationality? Accent?
He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian, maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his own. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it. Through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once.
You said the deceased assaulted a woman?
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it.
Why did these teenagers buy the canal, or what did they say?
That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez.
The lieutenant consults his notebook, his eyebrows knitted in concentration.
Odd. We haven't heard any reports about an assault in connection with the lynching. Where did it take place? And when?
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him.
And who was this woman?
That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor about a rumor. In any case, it's what the colonel's remaining colleagues believe.
You meet her soon enough, you feel.
What can you tell me about the colonel?
Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell.
down a deep black well.
They boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman Lorenz, Eintracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries. Guarding facilities, escort missions and such.
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
Yes. All the good conflict corridors. Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands. Countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil.
Anything else you got on them?
Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources. If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though.
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP, man?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Crenell.
And could you contact the company, tell them to call it off?
I have. And they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us.
She's being truthful. She is pressing them as hard as she can.
Yeah, that's all for now.
I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please ask.
Now, can you tell me about these tattoos?
Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
For about half a minute, in silence.
It was taken with a trigger not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface.
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars. I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent.
Like blooms in a pattern?
Close. Port cities. This is an Oronese map of the waterways. A sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century. Over 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels.
What is the use of this map?
The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it.
Where is he now?
This one is going nowhere but the morgue.
Times have changed.
What travels did the dead man make?
Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oronese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started somewhere near here, I think.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first the Seminese Islands, then this, Revachol. Those are the two constants, Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulinde, at the dawn of the Interinsulary Age.
The old world passing by, and the new world already here.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning.
Who could tell me more?
His platoon members? The other contractors. Though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture. This man was their friend and comrade.
Surely there are other people to ask about the tattoo. This is not necessary to complete the task, officer. It's a dangerous side task. Search elsewhere.
I want to say we need the information, but it's not a good idea.
I am relieved you think so. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security.
Well, that's all about the
Is there
tattoos.
anything else I can help you with? More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Glad
Hold
to...
on. Esprit de Corps, I think we can add. Okay, yep.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Not an umbrella, I hope. I don't need one myself, you see.
You know, I could use a coat like that.
Sadly, I need this one myself. It's hydrophobic, repels water, almost magically. The company makes them for offshore platform personnel. Very sturdy. What I can do for you is answer some questions. Nothing like talking to pass a rainy day.
Yeah, I guess.
More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
Fine. Aw.
Glad to have been of his...
At least we know when we're going to fail something by the little morale boost now. Let's go talk to Gart. Well, not just yet. There was stuff over here we could kind of break into, and I want to do that first. Money.
A lorry stuck in the traffic. The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin with personal belongings, stickers, insignia.
What about the back seat?
The back end of the cabin has a small perch to sleep, large ashtrays. There are several suns and wheels sewn into the curtains. A book with ragged edges catches your notice. The front cover features a large, muscular man. The title reads, Man from Eamdal in the Lost City of the Pygmies.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town. This is...
The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. Proclamations about honor, strength, and purity are glued to various panels.
You think this guy belongs to our... or blah, blah, blah. You think this lorry belongs to our tough guy?
Exactly, yes. This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his machine.
Great. I'm not going to go over here just yet. Because... Wait a minute.
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic.
Visual calculus.
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic.
Why am I looking at this?
Cop habit. You look at everything. This isn't case related, you think.
What kind of vehicle drove through here?
Hard to say.
See if we can reconstruct the moment.
The tire tracks
we
were
could.
left here by an unknown event that took place some days ago. It's a message written in the language of burnt rubber. Some of that rubber stuck to the tiles right in front of the whirling in rags. This is point A. The driver started there and then accelerated straight into the fence, left a hole big enough for the Franco-Nigerian cavalry, according to the cafeteria manager. Why that pang of guilt again?
Did we do this?
The driver proceeded to back out of the yard, barely stopping before hitting the adjacent building. Before heading south, must have been in a hurry.
So carved her through this fence.
You are correct. This is a rather motor carriage friendly city.
Somehow that makes you feel scared. You don't know why.
See, is this connected to the case?
I'm not sure. There are plenty of traffic accidents waiting to happen in Martinez. With the jam right here on the roundabout, I would keep them separate.
You could follow the track south. There seems to be a canal there. See where they went, if you find the time.
We did that already, but we need to up our visual calculus to do it. Yeah, let's talk to Gart and run out that room.
Can I help you? Got the 20 real? Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow.
Oh, we're literally 2 away from leveling up. Cool. Let's talk to
This is where you say your bet.
him.
Detective.
We're not going to say anything.
Hey, dipshit. You hard of hearing or something? The boss man's talking to you.
Do not let their squeals disturb your serenity. These are but simple peasants, sire.
You know what? We're going to raise our chin and gaze into the distance like a prince.
What, is he fucking kidding? This guy high or something?
Hey, asshole, up here. We're talking to you.
We are looking for Titus Hardy.
We want to talk about the man hanged out back.
Oh, this is about him. A real looker, that won't.
You're sure taking your time, waiting for him to get ripe and pretty for you, huh?
Oh, he was a real pretty boy by now. Real hot stuff. Letting out that pretty boy smell.
Time to go to work in the shit factory!
Easy, boys. These janitors have a hell of a job cut out for them. I mean, I wouldn't go in there for $1 million.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
Do a head count first. Connect these men to the tracks you saw in the yard. Chances are they're going to match.
Let's scan the room.
Starting from the right. Boot size 44. Blonde man. In his 30s. Overbearingly masculine. Sitting on his right. Standard working boots. Size 45 or 46. Eldest in the room. Probably mid-50s. Smoker. Quiet. Across at the other table. Hobnailed working boots. Size 43. Gang tattoos. Mesk or Sarah Mauritian. In his late 30s. Early 40s. And then, standard working boot. Steel reinforced toes. Size 46. The big dick. Wide at the shoulders and lean at the hips. Rugby cap. Fingerless gloves. And numerous scars. A little under 40. The emblem on his vest says Rowing Club. A little patch below it reads T. Hardy, Captain. In the far corner, standard working boot, steel reinforced toes, size 44, 40-something, non-alcoholic beverage in hand. You squint. Is that a plectrum?
Where?
On his neck. Forget it. It's not important. Let's call this one the musician.
And the little guy?
Size 41, with the light step. Not a child, after all. An older man with a rat face, mean, watery eyes, and 2 front teeth missing. In the middle, heaving and wheezing. Big guy. Boot size 46, deep marks. Probably carried the victim over. He, alone, is 130 kilos. Add the man in armor, and you could easily exceed 220. In conclusion, these 7 are the actors on the crime scene. The footprints were theirs, but there's a discrepancy.
Real quick. One of them is absent. The Odsel?
Exactly. The missing lady driver who was running the drug trade. Does it mean the Hardy Boys are involved in the drug trade as well?
Not necessarily. They may not be aware of it.
Maybe. But hey, you've stood there for about 4 seconds, not saying anything. Now is a good time to hit them with questions. Where's the 8th Hardy?
The fuck is with you, fella?
You know, I found 8 sets of footprints, but there's only 7 of you. Where's the 8th Hardy boy?
What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardy boy. There's 7 of us and we're all here. Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardy boy? We ain't hiring.
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe...
Shut the fuck up, Glenn! I do the talking here. Now what the fuck do you want, cop?
It has to be good, if he won't let you pursue it. Looks like the lieutenant thinks so too.
So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardy boy. It's a she, and you don't like us talking about her?
That's right. We're not talking about this. This is a private Hardy Boys matter. Nothing to do with your shit. And you're not cops here. Don't go digging around if you don't want a bullet in the back of your head. I'm watching you.
Good. We are all watching each other. Officer, your question.
There's no point in pushing it further, he thinks. This is already a victory. We'll learn more about this 8th Hardy sooner or later.
You know, I talked to Joyce. The merc you hanged, his friends are coming for you.
Yeah. By friends, you mean his squad mates from Crenell.
Wouldn't want to beat up his grandma.
Yes, they're forming some kind of tribunal and they're coming for you.
This is what happens if you take the law into your own hands. Other people start doing it too.
Let them come. The Hardy Boys are right fucking here.
You heard the man. Right here. We're armed. We got the whole district behind us. And Glenn. Glenn is fucking crazy.
Yeah. A well-oiled murder machine.
But did you know that a single Serenese giant hornet can kill 40 bees in a minute?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
You're the bees and they're the hornets.
We're not bees. We're men. We're socialists.
Easy, E. He's trying to phase you. What are you trying to do? Scare my men?
The Crenell is bad news, and you're well aware of that, right?
So are the local gangs. The fucking Barmy Army and the Madre scum. You've been out there. Seen any around?
Yeah. Where are they now, huh? Sent back to Madre in an airtight cargo crate.
These people are trained military professionals with decades of combat experience. They are not a gang or a Barmy army.
No, they're not. They're uncoordinated and drunk. We know more about them than you think.
Yeah, but they're also armed with automatic weapons.
We got weapons of our own. We got Ister 50s, Zeelagers. Glenn's got a knock cannon at home.
Will they pierce ceramic armor?
I guess we're gonna see, aren't we?
That was an unsure phrasing.
For your sake, I really hope you're right.
Right about what? That a 50 caliber bullet goes through shit? Yeah, I am.
You know, Joyce said they've gone rogue and that nobody's controlling them.
Big fucking surprise. They hire psycho scum, arm them to the teeth, and let them loose in the city. What do you think is gonna happen?
Okay.
What do you mean, okay?
I mean, okay. I'll be on your side when they come.
Yeah, just try not to get in the way when the whoop-ass flies open.
I think he meant a can of whoop-ass. Beneath the whoop-assery, it's clear that he appreciates all the help he can get.
One moment, I'm going to run to the bathroom. And I'm back. So, we've been able to connect you to the local drug trade.
Like hell you have. There is no local drug trade. This place is as clean as a rifle. Go back to Jamrock and ask the local junkies how clean your streets are in Precinct 41 Kilos.
We'll do that. In the meantime, did you know that there's an abandoned lorry at the intersection that was used to move raw ingredients for drugs from Terminal B to Jamrock? The person driving it was present at the hanging. It was one of you. We've connected the footprint. Detective, do you want to deliver the coup de grace?
No, you do the honor. You earned it.
Thank you. You're right, Titus. There is no local drug trade because it's all controlled by you. You're the drug trade.
That's a mighty interesting theory. I guess that's what you would need to do, theoretically. A big, strong, state-run monopoly would outcompete the runts on the street.
Yeah, man. Theoretically, that's what you would do. To get rid of the gangs, the dealers, even some of the junkies.
You would need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course. Hardy men to run such a monopoly. For the good of the community, of course.
But that's kind of disgusting. You're admitting to profiting over poisoning your own people.
Boo fucking who? People will always be taking drugs. Might as well do it clean and organized.
Yeah, that's what the labor movement is all about. Clean and organized. And the Hardy Boys are running it.
Theoretically, of course. We're just talking politics here. My answer to your drug accusation is, how dare you? Go fuck yourself.
Not quite yet, Mr. Hardy. There were 8 sets of prints on the crime scene. There are only 7 Hardy Boys here.
And the 8th Hardy, the one who's missing, she runs the thing, doesn't she?
My answer is, fuck off. Mind your own business. There is no 8th Hardy. I run this goddamn scene.
And here we go. Back to the usual.
I know! Fatty walked on all 4s. He's so fucking fat he left 2 sets of footprints.
Go fuck your mom, Dennis.
That's more like it, boys. You heard him. It was Angus on all 4s. Anything else you need to know?
The man hanged in the backyard. Did you do it?
The pretty boy. You guys really love talking about that pretty boy.
Funny, but my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
Why is there a container belt around the dead man's neck?
Container belt? Like we use in the harbor?
Yeah.
Because we took it from the harbor where we work. Then we went out back and used it to hang him. We did this together, all of us, until he was dead. That's why there's a container belt around his neck.
And you're just confessing to murder?
Goddamn right.
No. These 7 honest men have equally come forth. They told you what happened so that you don't waste any more of your time.
All 7 together. They're diluting responsibility. It's an anti-arrest tactic.
So you just murdered him like that, no remorse?
How many people have you sent to the Shays? Ever felt remorse for them?
Shays Electrique is the method of capital punishment in Revachol under the Coalition. During the suzerain's reign, it used to be the firing squad.
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
And Reunion, what's that?
The River Esperance Correctional Facility, a military prison run by the Coalition, dubbed Reunion by the inmates. The origin of the name is unknown.
What we do is different. We enforce the law while you just kill people like it's nothing.
But you see, a lawman, is something people agree upon. And here in Martinez, we agreed that this man had to die.
And who called the shots that night?
Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't arrest a Hardy Boy without arresting all Hardy Boys. Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all?
A trick question. Don't let her lead the conversation.
No, but seriously, who calls the shots around here?
Who do you fucking think does?
The 8th Hardy Boy, the one who's missing, the big dick.
Titus, no one was thinking
that there's any question who's the leader. That's how he would have ended it. Titus won't let him.
No. Fuck no! The big dick is right here, asshole. You're looking at it. Right. Fucking here.
Disregard the outburst, officer. None of the boys have any comments on their power relations. That night, they acted as one. That's all.
And when did this hanging incident occur?
You don't have to keep answering his questions.
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way to end the week.
And how long had you known him?
known him? We don't associate with scum like that, asshole.
Yeah! Who do you think we are?
Quiet. He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines cow first sailed into town. Happy?
By the Pines cow, you mean Joyce Messier? The representative for White Pines? The same company you are striking against?
No. I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. But you know what? Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you ask her hard enough.
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions.
Why did you kill him?
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out alive in my town.
So he was a mercenary, that's it?
And he stepped out of line.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. Had Cohoy and Semenine written all over him. Ex-Oranese Special Forces.
A live grenade. Right here in our bar.
This one has a special gripe with him coming here.
I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that. Story of every strike from here to Samara.
How do you know he was in Special Forces?
Because one night, he walked straight up to the mic and said, "I'm Oranese goddamn Special Forces, and I'm gonna fuck you all."
Really?
Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there, sang some Oranese paratrooper song, and said he's gonna fuck everyone.
We couldn't believe it either, but he fucking did, right there. Like some kind of animal.
Sire, the tale is true. This is a serious violation of the karaoke code.
Okay, but besides crimes against the karaoke code, what did he actually do wrong?
Wrong? He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning.
From rape to harassment to threats of violence. Why the strange de-escalation? He regrets mentioning it. Hopes you didn't notice.
To kill us all, if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over. That was before he started coming here.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started coming here every night. Drinking, grabbing girls. Grabbed one of ours mid-karaoke, right there on the stage.
He grabbed someone?
Yeah. This girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl. Young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. The fucker grabs her legs, starts screaming. "Show me your cunt! Why don't you show me your cunt?" Then, he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle, doesn't even fall down.
Was this the same girl who was sexually assaulted, raped, you said?
Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you. He took care of it. They got the girl out before anything else could happen.
Yeah, me and Eugene got her out. Aren't you fucking listening?
There's something odd here. Seems like they don't want to talk about that rape Titus mentioned. Why not? This is a serious allegation. Make them talk about it.
But who did it then? This is like a very serious allegation.
No, you're not getting a name. That's a Martinez matter, and I'm not discussing it with you clowns.
So how did you kill him?
We hanged him up by his neck until he got real still. Wasn't that obvious, copper?
Didn't they teach you anything at the cop school, idiot?
This is where an autopsy would come in handy. You have to work with what you know.
Maybe another question
Wrap
then.
it up instead?
Yeah, we're not going to threaten him.
Nothing. Your investigation here is done. Leave Martinez, go back to your stations where you belong.
I think we're going to stick around, thanks. Some things don't add up here, Titus. I've done this job for long enough to know that people don't just confess to first-degree murder. Even if it is a group responsibility, we're going to look into this.
Good luck with that. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us. Real law officials. You're lucky you didn't get a beating.
Let's see, does it show for the authority on here? Because there's no way we're going to be able to do this. Yeah, there we go. So we can also look at the stuff we need to do as well. Well, except the warded door.
An inconspicuous pile of...
Okay, let's see if we can boost our perception again. You think we can? No, that's a -1 in perception. Okay, we have a 50-50 chance pretty much to get this.
Inconspicuous pile of the... Because there's
Let's
a
go.
secret door hidden behind the panels of Eternite. That's why they're too orderly. There it is. You see a shabby little door.
What is this then? A tool shed? Let's investigate.
Ooh, money.
Be still, my beating heart. It's amphetamine. Sweet amphetamine. The lieutenant isn't studying the powder in the mirror. He's studying you. There's a good, vague way to ask where he stands on drug use. Professionally, I mean.
Someone has narcotics here. Perhaps the police should interfere?
Perhaps not. This is below our pay grade, detective. However, see that ladder there? It's probably another way into the industrial harbor, no? A secret path the local kids use.
Let's check it out then. Ooh, money. What's in here? A postcard. I'm surprised there's not a way in here. Huh. Wait, is there a way we can get up there?
Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing here. Man down, a trooper has been left behind the enemy lines. You could swear it's more of an instinct than an actual sight, but you know there's the RCM signature rectangle on the cloak.
It's a cop's cloak.
Yes, it's probably yours. It bears the RCM insignia, and you have a habit of being careless with your equipment. You could probably make the jump. You look like you've done some track and field in your day.
Savior Friar. See if we can up that. See if we can do it.
A cloak with possible RCM markings is still caught on the railing. The wind is aggressive up here. The lieutenant looks at the enormous crane towering in the distance over the container yard. The look in his eyes is a mix of the engineer-like interest and the wonder of a 6-year-old seeing a horse for the first time. His eyes trace the crane's contour as if trying to memorize its majestic shape. Then he notices your gaze.
Yes, we were in the middle of something. Your cloak.
So what exactly are we doing up
I
here?
was under the assumption we could ask the leader of this union to help us get this body down. This is why we're here, right? Or it could be that we are just exploring.
He's thinking you've forgotten where you are again.
Do you really think this cloak is mine? Should I go for it? Jump?
The cloak? I do think it's yours, yes. As to whether you should go for it? Well, it doesn't seem too dangerous. 2-meter stops. Whenever you're ready to do it, I'll be right behind you.
The cloak looks like a bag of goodies floating in the wind. Who knows what its pockets may hide?
All right, we have a 40% chance. Let's see. We failed it. Oh, we got too scared to jump down.
Nope, no. That's still too high. What were you thinking? You're not a gymnast. You're a boxer. And you've climbed way too high up here.
We'll
Sure.
try it next time.
Just be careful, okay? Looks like you almost strained a muscle there.
At least we have an alternative to maybe get in here now. Okay, let's talk to Joyce one more time.
You're back. Good. What can more lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead.
6 kilometers southwest in the Valley of Dogs, Junior Officer Chad Tilbrook takes aim at a rabid black dog licking its wounds in the grass. To his left, his partner, Emil Mullins, whispers, "You heard what happened to Tequila Sunset in Martinez?" "Yes, he lost his mind," Tilbrook answers, fingers on the trigger. "Don't worry, Emil." He pulls it out slowly. Slowly now. He'll find it again. We always do.
What am I?
You? You're an officer of the RCM.
The Revachol Citizens Militia.
Preciso mundo.
Good. And what is the Revachol Citizens Militia?
Nothing more nor less than the de facto law enforcement body of post-revolutionary Revachol, Detective.
Yes, we are the Revachol Citizens Militia.
He's being sarcastic.
You said de facto?
Yes, that means not de jure. The RCM acts in what is poetically called the twilight of international law, both at the behest of the coalition government and to its chagrin.
And what do you mean?
The RCM's responsibilities are defined by the Emergency, Wayfarer and Aliments Acts, 3 pieces of legislation keeping the city in a, let's be honest, laissez-faire stasis to the benefit of foreign capital.
All 3 are good to know when we are out policing.
So I'm basically a lackey of capital.
There's nothing basic about your role, Detective. It's true that the RCM keeps everything the way our seemingly permanent provisional rulers like it. Yet, on the other hand, I know these people. I deal with them daily. Let me tell you, dear, they are not fans of you.
Why?
The post-revolutionary decade was a disaster for the coalition government. Revachol in the 20s was hell, especially on the west side of the river. Gang warfare, a botched privatization scheme, a nuclear pile meltdown. They called it the international zone because no nation wanted to claim responsibility. The RCM restored peace where the coalition failed. A true blue citizens' initiative. They will never forgive you.
That's somewhat of an exaggeration. In reality, ours is a mutually beneficial arrangement. Revacholians get to keep the peace in Revachol, and the coalition doesn't have to worry about it. Anyway, sorry to intrude. Please continue.
Yes, Lieutenant. Permit me to conclude with this. Who you are, to me, is the police. The only legitimate law enforcement authority in Revachol.
Thank you, ma'am.
And if those authorities drink so hard they need help recalling the basic terms of reality, well, I'm here to help. Glad to have been of...
Right, let's go set up near the strike. But with everything that's happened so far today, we are going to call stream here. We will be back tomorrow with some more team fighting tactics, and then back Thursday with more Disco Elysium, where we will finish out day 2. I'd like to thank you all for stopping by and watching our stream, and I will see you all later.